Welcome back to Karis Investment, where investments are made simple. Guys, hope you're joining us today. We are live. Now, it's very important to know when to invest in a company and when to wait until the price is more attractive. And this is why we're doing this video for today, is so we could share with you guys when is the best time to invest in the stock market, in particular stocks, or even in real estate, and when to invest in mortgages as well as starting your own business. Guys, my name is Ken, entrepreneur, investor in stock market, in the real estate industry, and as well, of course, in mortgages. And I do own my own small businesses. Guys, it's great to be here. It is an exciting day. It's June 1st. It's Wednesday. If you guys have been subscribed to my channel, you guys understand that we create videos of when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade, and what I think is the best opportunity in the market. And I keep it very, very simple. I like to share to let people know when is a good time. Now, if you're subscribed as usual, I said I thank you 100%. If you're not yet subscribed, this is a great opportunity for you guys to subscribe if you want to get notified when I create new content. Now, as you guys know, I will always upload videos or go live when I see there are opportunities in the market that could make a big difference into your trading. Now, before we jump into the live stream today, let's jump into the intro for a bit, and then we'll get back to why we think it's an exciting day, and is Mullen is at the price right now that you guys should invest and hold. Welcome back. Absolutely. Now, guys, on my screen, as you can tell, we're looking at Mullen Automotive. Now, if you guys have been following my channel, I created a lot of videos, and I tell you guys that, hey, always buy low and hold. It's very simple. It's very old school. It's the simplest way that you can invest and make money in the stock market. Hopefully you guys were watching. Hopefully you guys were taking those tips. As usual, guys, I cannot tell you that you must buy a stock. You have to make that decision by yourself. Please note that investment can be very risky when not done properly. Please invest responsibly and always do your research before you invest. Now, as usual, if you're not sure, you can watch a ton of videos, do a ton of research. But at the end of the day, guys, to protect your money, speak to a financial advisor if you're still uncertain, because it's a stock market. You can lose money as well as you can make money. Now, if you're joining us right now, we're looking at Mullen Automotive. If you take a look right now, we can see that Mullen is up 7% for the day. Another brutal, amazing day in general. Now, the stock market have been down, but there's two stocks that actually have been doing exceptionally well. And we cover these stocks on this channel. One is Mullen, and the second stock that actually is doing amazing today is Endo International. So hopefully you guys are keeping up to date with what's going on. As usual, I can only do my part by sharing what I think is a great opportunity, and then the rest is actually up to you guys. Now, if you take a look at my screen, you could see that Mullen, it opens the day at $1.49. In the pre-market this morning, it was up at $1.53, but it opens at $1.49, then drops to $1.46. And then we saw it has a day high of $1.68. Now, the big news is yesterday we saw a breakout in Mullen. We saw it was trading in the pre-market and closed just below 98 cents per share. And then yesterday we saw it opens the day, and it went for a huge run up to $1.26, and then we saw a pullback. Then obviously we saw it runs up again to $1.44, and then in the day we saw a few pullback here and there in the stock, and then we saw a huge run up, breaking $1.55. So anyone that made trades yesterday, you could have still made a lot of profit, and even today, because we saw it pulls back later on the day yesterday, $1.38. In the aftermarket yesterday, I did a trade as well. It was still in the $1.41, but ultimately today we saw it goes up again to 168. So yesterday you could have made a good 48% in profit, and if you bought in the aftermarket yesterday, you could have made another 20 something percent again. Now, if you guys recall, we created a video, and we created so many videos in terms of Mullen, but last week I answered a few questions for a few people that was guessing what's going on and if it was a good stock to hold. And as I said before, we got to be patient in terms of what's going on. This is great news if you're thinking long term, and also if you're thinking short term as well. This is absolutely still good news if you are a shareholder for this company. Now, the reason why the stock price obviously is skyrocketed, as you can see this morning here, is that Mullen actually announced the result of their solid state battery, and it blew everyone's mind, and the stock just went on a huge run and continues to surprise investors. Now, the main thing you need to know is that in terms of the battery testing in their Indiana facility, it shows here as reported that results from the solid state test rated for 300 amp and 3.7 volts, tested at 343.28 amp and 4.2 volt, exceeding expectations. So basically the range right now, initially they were thinking anywhere from 450 to 520 miles per charge, but now the test has revealed that this battery could actually brings you up to 600 miles, right? Now this is when they actually apply this to the application in the car itself. So this is a mind-blowing in terms of result for the company. This is very, very big news. Now, it's so funny because I was looking through a few research in the weeks earlier, and a few analysts were giving a lot of bad suggestions. That's why it's very important, guys, to make sure that you're doing your own report, because a few analysts was commenting how they were unsure if Mullen and if they were gonna do good and if they're gonna able to consistently like stay over $1 per share. People were actually questioning if the battery is possible to sustain any charge, and we can see a lot of negativity that came into this that says, hey, if we're considering Mullen in terms of QuantumScape, they saw that QuantumScape spend like 94% more in research and development. I think Mullen only spent about 30 million in terms of research and development, and people are questioning that, hey, you spend just 30 plus million in 2021. Are you sure that's enough in to invest in this tech to see if it could come to fruition? Now, this result, again, if they could sustain this result once they bring it in the car application, and if it's proven, then definitely it's going to be a big thing. Now, they do have a few scheduled to make a few round trips from California to multiple states in the United States. They're going to go around and do more testing. Now, the great thing with solid state, guys, as you know, it's dense, it's faster charge on the compare of charging your lithium on the batteries. For example, Tesla and the other cars that using the traditional lithium batteries, it takes a longer time. In terms of the solid state, we understand that it takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes for a full charge, and it could gives you up to 600 miles. So that's amazing in terms of the range, if it could translate into the car and give that result. Now, guys, if you want to take more look into Mullen, you could definitely go on their website. If you go to mullenusa.com, they have a ton of information in terms of the cars that they carry. We can see the 5 here, which is the SUV crossover. This is one of the car that they will be using the battery in. Now, the only strange thing is on the website, it shows 325 miles, but the test proves they can go up to 600 miles. So I guess these information will probably get up to date in terms of which battery is going to go in these car. But make sure you do some research before you go on invest. Again, if you take a look back in the last month, a lot of people were unsure. We saw the stock was down below 77 cents per share. But at that time, I created a video and I tell everyone that says, hey, at these prices, this is when we need to start buying and holding long term. So whoever who bought in into that, it's a great opportunity because then you made 100% in less than 2 weeks in profit, right? And this is what we want. We want people to make profit. We want people to make money, right? And this is why it said in terms of Mullen, it's a great situation for anyone. Take a look in the EV space, guys. Not many companies you can see with the potential of what this company has in store, and it's trading in $1 per share, right? This is and this is still mind blowing. If you consider Mullen right now at roughly $1 per share, it's a steal. At 77 cents, at 80 cents per share, it is mind blowing why anyone would second guess this. And the reason why people were second guessing this is because a lot of different analysts from Wall Street was punching out a lot of different information in terms of if the stock really worth it. If you take a look, volume is always high in terms of Mullen, something hitting 200 million, right? Yet people are told that, hey, it's gonna crash. But the main thing you need to understand with Mullen, we have seen it gone down. But the good thing from my point of view is that, okay, we see that $1.02 around this range, about $1.02. It's where I think the floor is right now. It could break that support, but in my opinion, around $1.02, from anything I'd say from $1 to $1.05, it's the bottom range in terms of where it could go back. So it's still a potential to go higher. Now, keep in mind, if we're looking at Mullen from where it was, the stock is technically down by like 93%, 95%. So if you're thinking of going long term, this is definitely a company that you should consider. As usual, guys, I cannot tell you that you must go out and buy this company, but in my opinion, it is a no-brainer. It is a great opportunity. Number one, and the company, cars looks amazing. Number two, the quality have reported is in line with comparable vehicles. And number three, of course, in terms of the battery solution, listen, I think Mullen is following the footstep of Tesla. They're trying to make everything in-house in terms of the vehicle and in terms of the battery. If they could get the battery right, and if they could get the vehicle portion right, then this is going to be an amazing opportunity, in my opinion. Of course, do some research before you invest. If you're still not sure if you want to invest in this company, I would still recommend for you to still do the research, right? Just do the research first, and then if you don't want to go in at this moment, just make an alert. If the platform you're using, for example, if it gives an alert option, then you can go in and make an alert that says, you know what, if it starts to, like, you can just do something like says, okay, you know what, if it crosses $2.50 per share, okay, you can set an alert there. So if it starts to surge, then it will notify you, right? It's a good way. But I strongly think that Mullen will definitely crosses back over at least $5 to $6 per share very, very soon. Now, you got to be patient, right? I told you guys this 2 weeks back or a month back as well, that says, hey, if it drops to $1, for sure I'm buying. It drops below 80 cents per share, for sure I'm buying. Each time it drops below $1, I keep adding shares into this company because I know one day, in terms of the like potential, it's a great discount. This is like a 90%, 95% discount that we're looking at right now. It's a similar situation with Rivian, right? And we saw people bought up in the 120 and 140. Then it breaks $20 per share. You cannot guess at $20 per share. That's a big 80, 90% drop. So the only difference with Rivian and with Mullen is that if you don't have a lot of money to buy, for example, Rivian, or to buy Tesla and Lucid and NIO, and then this is a great opportunity for someone that is actually entering the market if they want to own some shares in a company in the EV space. I strongly recommend that you consider companies such as Mullen for sure, because it has great potential. If you want to invest in the EV in general or in electric, any of those companies such as CleanSmart that's still trading with a huge price tag discount, it's still a great opportunity. But in terms of in the automotive section, at $1.52, I would be more comfortable if you guys were getting it closer to $1 per share or $1.10 per share. Now, obviously, it could pull back, but you got to be patient as well. It could goes higher. Now, if you got it in the last 2 weeks when I recommended, it would have been a great opportunity, but we can't say if. We just got to position ourselves for the future. So again, guys, if you like the content, show some support. Let us know if you're buying or if you're selling or if you're staying away completely. That is totally fine. Let me know in the chat below. Let's generate some chat so we can respond. It's totally up to you guys. There is no harm into sharing information. This is all free to share, to make sure that someone else out there is making the right decision. So again, guys, like, share, and subscribe as usual. I just wanted to go live so I could let you guys know what is going on in terms of the stock market. Now, before I go, I want to give you guys another great opportunity again for a second chance. I did create a video last week urging you guys to buy and hold. Now, if you guys did, it's a similar situation. Last week, we saw Affirm was trading low. We can say it was below $20 per share. Now, again, I like to share these information to make sure that if someone is out there, you can definitely see how we're trying to help. This is a helping situation to make sure you can make money. Now, keep in mind, if you bought last week when I recommended, it would have been an amazing opportunity because you could have made a lot of profit. So let's close off Mullen here. We're done with Mullen for the day. But if we take a look here, if we saw last week, we look at Mullen and we look at Affirm, right? It's two different segments. Now, in terms of Affirm, if you're not sure about the company, you definitely need to check my previous videos, or you can do some research. But basically, it's an e-commerce company that deals with payment in terms if you want to buy something now and go on a payment plan. They have a partnership with banking source to make sure that could happen for you. So you can purchase stuff from like Best Buy and most retail store that accept like Apple. You pay now and you go on a monthly plan. It could be a year or 2 years. It all depends on what you're approved for. Now, the Affirm Holdings and Upstart are two of the companies that we covered. And I let you guys know that, hey, buy and hold and always take profit when the stock goes down. It's a great idea to take profit, and then we sell at the peak, and then we wait. We do the same thing over again. Now, if you got Affirm below $20 per share, it would have been a great opportunity because we saw that Affirm breaks $31 per share yesterday, meaning that you could have sell, wait, and you could have rebought. We saw it dropped below $24 per share today again. Don't be disappointed, guys. This one is a long-term play. Now, if you're going long-term, this is totally fine for you. Now, in the earlier part of the day, we saw it went on a little run, opens up, goes up to $28.77, but then we saw it came back down for a day low of $23.76. So it's still around where it is right now, down 15%. We can see it fluctuate between 13.50, between 13.5 to 15% down for the day. Now, don't be discouraged. I still think this is a great opportunity. Now, me personally, guys, I cannot tell you that you need to go and buy shares, but I've gone in personally and I've got some more shares at $23.92. Now, reason why I'm stockpiling shares because I like to buy shares when it's trading lower. A simple strategy I'm using is, for example, last week I told you below $20 per share, it's a great opportunity. So what I do, guys, I buy at that price, I sell above 30 and I take the profit and I rebuy more shares again. So I keep accumulating more shares into the company. It's something that you can try as well. I'm not encouraging everyone to do the same thing, but if you're looking at a company that you're thinking, hey, you want to go long term with this company, if you trust their products, if you think this company could make you profit in the long term, then this is a strategy that you can use. Now, there's a few news that came out. We can see the partnership with Stripe, right? You can see the expand partnership with Stripe to expand offering of buy now, pay later services. So basically, this is what they basically do: buy now, pay later. Affirm's Holding Inc. is partnering with digital payments processor Stripe Inc. to offer buy now, pay later services to Stripe users in the United States. So this is a new venture that was announced May 31st. There is a ton of partnership we see. We see a partnership with WooCommerce to actually launch in Canada and the United States. So this is amazing thing. Now, guys, keep in mind, it's a down year for the company. Basically, if people are not taking on new debts, basically, then Affirm doesn't really make much money in terms of revenue. So as things get better, and this company could definitely make a big difference at $24.32. I think it's a great pickup. Take a look here, guys. If we take a look here, the year high in terms of Affirm, we're looking at a $176 per share. I'm okay holding until it breaks $100 per share. I'm in no rush at that point. If you're looking at a vision and looking at that time frame, then this company is definitely a great opportunity for you. Now, next on the list is a similar stock, does the same thing practically. I created a video last week as well, urging people to make sure you consider between the two. Now, it's down today 8%. It was up this morning at $54.15. We have seen it touches $54 in the last 3 days consistently. I think Upstart Holdings is a great company. Now, price is more a volatile. If you're not quite if you're looking for something that's volatile, that price will actually move faster for you in terms of profit. And then Upstart Holdings is a great option as well. Now, is similar thing as Affirm. If you watched the video last week and the one before as well, it's in the last 2 weeks, this stock was trading below $26 per share. So if we go back here, was trading below $26 per share. I created a video and tell people that, hey, great opportunity. Make sure that you consider it before price goes up. If you go in short term, you can make money. If you go in long term, you can make money as well. That stock plays out as well. We saw it goes from $25.60 back to $54 per share. So definitely you could have made 100% in a week or two since I created that video as well. So again, guys, it's great to watch the video and do your research. And if you're thinking you want to make profit, then you could jump in. Now, keep in mind, I only make videos of stocks that we're buying and selling, right? So I wouldn't put something out there that I know is not going to make you profit. Because if I put something out there that don't make profit, then okay, that means I didn't make profit as well, right? So Affirm's Holding and Upstart are two companies I'm riding. With Mullen for sure, I will continue ride Mullen. No, obviously, if you have the Teslas and the Apples and those companies, for sure you want to keep those companies still. But in terms of these companies, they could help to supercharge your portfolio in terms of making you a lot of profit in a short period of time. Sometimes you need these companies that could help you to make great profit in the stock market. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you're trading traditional stock like Apple, for example, and McDonald's and Walmart, in the long run, those companies will make you a lot of money. But if you're looking to get $50,000 or $100,000 very quick, then you can invest in those companies and you can get high dividends. You need to invest in companies that could give you 200% or 1,000% or 100% in short span, right? Because the more companies you could get to give you this kind of production is the more you can make more money. For example, if you have started watching my channel back in 2020, I believe, if you have started with say $5,000 to $10,000 by this stage, if you're watching and you're buying the exact same stocks I'm buying, for sure you could have made more than $1 million. I've known people that actually are subscribers that start with the exact same thing as what most of us did, and they're well over $2-3 million in terms of profit. But they take a lot of risk, meaning that, for example, the workhorse days when we were pumping workhorse to make a lot of money, GameStop, they do a lot of trade, bought in the 40s, selling the 480s, rebuy in the 120, selling the 400s, rebuy in the 220, selling the 380, and then Tesla from 540 back to 1200. Like those trades, Polar Power, for you guys that know, I was one of those guys that was telling people at $1.50, okay, buy Polar Power now. If you bought in the $1.50 to $2 per share, you could have sell at $30 per share, right? So those kind of stocks that are very volatile, they can help to supercharge your portfolio. And very quickly, think about this. If you invest $10,000, for example, in NIO, when I tell people at $1.80, right, and you sell at $17, you rebuy at 12, you sell at 24. You keep doing the same thing. You keep making 200%. You keep making 100%. In very, very soon time, you can definitely make a lot more than what you think, right? But it's risky, right? And with risk comes more responsibility, because you can lose your money. And this is the fear what a lot of people have in the stock market. You can lose all your money if you make a wrong trade, because same how you could make 100% and 200%, you can lose 300% as well, right? So just be careful. But in terms of trading, I think, for example, Upstart holdings, I think Affirm holdings, and I think in terms of Mullen Automotive are some of the great stock that will help you to give you a 40% here or a 50% here. Same as Endo International. I told people when it was trading below $38 per share, buy. Okay, we saw it goes back to 70 cents. And then we saw it goes back to 36 cents again. Then we saw it goes back this morning to 63. So that's a quick like 60% in a few weeks. So again, trade responsibly. You can't buy all the stocks. Just choose one or two if you're going to be doing trading on a daily basis. Don't do more than like 3 to 5 stocks, because then you're going to be, if you go down in some, you can't wait and then you may jump out. So I think just be patient. If you want to ride just one stock, for example, with Upstart, if you ride Upstart, you can make 5-10% daily, right? If you enter and exit the right time. But if you're going long term, just buy low, hold, and then it will work out for you. So if we take a look again, if we look at Mullen, it's still up 7% for the day. It's $1.50. We take a look at Upstart, it's down 8%. And of course, we look at Affirm as well. Affirm is down 13%. So I am still holding the position that we got on Affirm this morning. That's below 24 per share. Now, we already made a ton of profit when we go to like 31. So this is a great pickup for anyone that's looking. In my opinion, what I did this morning is that I sell some Mullen at 163, and then I took the profit from Affirm from yesterday, and I bought in again at below $24 per share. So let's see if Affirm could bring us back up to $28 or $30 by next week, and then we can keep going back and forth. But if you want to go long term, guys, just invest in the ones that you want to choose, and then you wait and see how long you can make some profit. Now, as usual, guys, like, share, and subscribe. I just want to create a quick video to let you guys know what was going on the market. Keep in mind as well on the cannabis space, if you're in the cannabis space, Aurora Cannabis is still currently down $1.53. We have seen it drops huge in the last, I would say, 5 days. We have seen it drops from $2.70 to $1.50. That's a huge drop. So if you want to go in, guys, I think personally it is a good opportunity, but at the same time you got to be careful, because it's down 43 to 45% in the last 5 days. Now, if you're thinking long term, for sure it is a great buy. I love Aurora Cannabis, even though it's disappointed us a lot in the last few years. It still have potential, but the only fear I have in Aurora Cannabis is a split, because it's trading similar to what we saw back in, was it 2020? It drops below $1 per share, and then to avoid the Nasdaq delisting, is splitting us, and when it's split, it opens at 10 and then tank. So that's the only concern I have with Aurora Cannabis. Before you go in, me personally, if I should choose at this stage, I would still choose Tilray or Canopy Growth, I would say, because right now we're looking at Canopy Growth is down 5% at $4.72. It's still more safer than Aurora Cannabis, but at the price right now, it is very attractive. Do some research before you jump in. I would hate for anyone to go in and lose more, but I think at this price, you can still make, if you're looking in the short term, you could possibly make 25 to 28%, I would say, by mid-June. Now, keep in mind, guys, any news comes out with legalization, like all marijuana stocks in general will jump. All right, so don't worry about that. In terms of that situation, you want to make sure your main marijuana stock, if you're from the Canadian side, of course, is Tilray and Canopy Growth. If you want to take a chance on Aurora Cannabis, then it's a fair game. You can definitely do that. But let's take a look here. CGC. We see that Canopy Growth is down as well. Since last week, we have seen the same kind of drop from $5.50 to $4.64 2 days ago. So that's a huge drop for Canopy Growth, because normally Canopy Growth is not a company that will drop that much, but huge disappointment in the cannabis space in general. But again, great opportunity is always there. Now, I haven't talked about Tesla very long because I'm not planning to sell my Tesla shares anytime. So, but I think keep an eye on Tesla. Right, it's trading right now at 736. Now the lockdown in Shanghai, China is finally over. Right, so keep an eye on Tesla and keep an eye on stock like NIO. Right, you will see those companies starts to go up in price again, right? You can see that NIO is start to uptick from 14 last week. It's above $18 we saw earlier, right? So keep an eye on those two companies because they have a huge factory in Shanghai, China, and the COVID lockdown is finally announced. It's reopening. So I think those companies will start to actually make a huge run. Guys, it was great having you guys today. I just want to pump out a quick video before I'm actually back doing great things. So as usual, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are buying any of those companies. If you're not, that's totally fine. Just keep them in your mind because use a watch list and save them somewhere. So if it starts to pop, then you will be notified, and in that way you can jump on board. But again, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace out. Have a safe weekend. I'll be back next week with a live footage. Hopefully I'll have my camera working by then and we'll go back to our regular schedule. So until next time, peace out.